A man with an automatic rifle opened fire near the food cart. They're only confirming one dead. They say there are some wounded, and they say that the shooter has been neutralized and the situation is calm now. And you heard Mario there, the worker, saying the SWAT team came in and they were clearing stores, the people that were hiding out, saying it's safe to come out. They escorted them out of the mall.
And Jeff, we've got someone else on the phone right now who is inside the mall for this whole thing. Nina, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Nina, first of all, are you safe?
I'm safe, thank you.
You're out of the mall now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, tell us what happened to you today in there.
So I actually witnessed firsthand the gunman entering the scene. I was in the Macy's store shopping, and a slender white man in black wearing a hockey mask, like a Friday the 13th kind of version of it, sort of a white, just plain-faced hockey mask, came jogging through the Macy's, running toward the public area, and he was holding in full view an assault rifle. And so he most likely entered through one of the back entrances of the Macy's, and just in plain view ran through holding the weapon. And once he entered the public area outside of Macy's, we heard gunshots. And as everyone has said, there's just a flood of people. Everyone ran toward the exits at that point to get out.
It just sounds like you are describing a horror film, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yes. Yeah. More than anything, it was very surreal. A lot of people saw him running through, and your first thought is it must be something, we thought a flash mob or something, someone's going to get together and dance or do something lighthearted.
Yeah, this can't be real.
The last thing you think that is that he was carrying a real gun.
Mina, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, they said they do want to hear from people like you, so it's important that you let them know what you saw as they try to piece this whole thing together. Did you see anyone in that public area fall to the ground after those shots were fired?
No, I didn't see the shots fired. I saw him running by on his way to shoot the gun, and so it was obvious he wasn't intending to rob the store or anything. He just looked like he was heading toward a public area so that he could shoot.
And if he was jogging, it almost seems like maybe he was on a mission. He maybe knew who he was going to find. We don't know that, but we don't know if it's a random shooting or if he had intended victims in there. But I just cannot imagine what people in the store must have been doing. I think if I was shopping and saw something like that, I would just look around and say, I think I would just be confused more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people looked at each other when he ran by, and it actually took a moment even after hearing the gunshots relatively nearby for someone to say, those are gunshots, and everyone to flood out of there. You just have a moment of trying to piece together what strange thing is happening.
Oh my God.
As we're talking to Mina, on our television screen, we're showing all the police officers outside. We just saw a state police truck, and once again, I want to remind our viewers, the governor issued a statement from Salem saying the state police are on the scene. Rich Evans, the head of the state police, is there. They have the full cooperation of local agencies. So the state police are on the scene, and look at the row of ambulances lined up.
Again, Jeff, I think the good news we have to report right now, even though 2 people have been shot, a gunman has been neutralized, and 1 person is confirmed killed. We have rows and rows of ambulances parked outside of Clackamas Town Center, and right now it looks like they are not being used. So we're thankful for that we don't have stretchers of people being loaded out of that mall right now. We don't know if there are any more victims. We do know that people are still being escorted out of the mall right now as we speak, because after these shots were fired, they went into nooks and crannies wherever they could find, and they just basically hid and locked themselves in, locked themselves down. Now the SWAT teams are going through the mall and clearing each little pocket of people out of the mall, making sure the scene is safe, and telling people, keep your head down and women and children first. Can you imagine hearing that as you're walking out of a mall?
Yeah, if you do know the mall, we showed a picture from inside the mall someone took of a shattered glass on the banister near the Excalibur gifts right there on the upper level. So that was some of the damage, and there it is right there, so you can see the damage caused by some gunfire. Our reporter Jolie Wanaga is standing by right now live. Joel, information is starting to trickle in. What have you learned out from on the scene?
Well, shoppers are now being escorted out, and the same thing, Jeff, over and over again. They describe it as sheer panic and terror, again being described by the shoppers who witnessed this horrific ordeal firsthand. I want to give you a live look from our vantage point. We are at the north side of the mall. This is just outside that Macy's store where witnesses tell KOIN Local 6 that is where the gunman entered the mall through a rear entrance. We do see a number of officers still arriving on scene, literally dozens of ambulances here on scene. We do not know the number of victims. Detectives are confirming once again at least one death. The shooting happened at a time really during the holiday shopping season. It was crowded, as you can imagine. The line for the Santa was extremely long. Lifelight, as you mentioned, en route right now with at least one patient in critical condition. We've spoken to a number of witnesses. Here is what one woman describes.
The shots were really loud and really scary. That's what it was. I mean, it was echoing all through the mall, so nobody knew where I was coming from at first, but it was echoing all through the mall.
How many shots?
I heard 3, and then when I saw people ran, I knew it wasn't just a joke, so I started running. That's all I heard was 3, and then that's when everybody started running.
Back to a live picture here outside the Clackamas Town Center. Dozens of ambulances, fire personnel, as well as SWAT tactical operations still here. But again, folks breathing a sigh of relief knowing that the gunman has been, quote, neutralized, according to the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. One witness tells KOIN Local 6 the gunman was wearing a hockey mask and walked in to the Macy's store with an assault rifle. You heard that woman. She thought it was some sort of a joke, but clearly this was no prank. At this point, once again, a number of shoppers are being escorted out. We see a lot of traffic, vehicle traffic, leaving the mall at this point. So again, the situation seems to be calmed down right now. But again, as you can imagine, Jeff and Kelly, a real tense situation. Again, sheer panic and terror here inside the Clackamas Town Center within the last several hours. That's the very latest. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Joel, thanks a lot. And again, we just want to reiterate that the woman we just spoke to said that the man ran through Macy's dressed in black with that white Friday the 13th style Halloween looking hockey mask on. A very frightening scene, holding an assault rifle, jogging through the Macy's to get to the public part of the mall, and that's when people started hearing that gunfire. Almost
like he had a mission. Nicole, are you standing by on the phone? Can you hear us, Nicole?
Yes, I can hear you.
Nicole, what did you see? I know you were inside the mall.
I was inside the Justice store, and I was ringing up a transaction, and I just heard a whole bunch of gunshots, and I started seeing some of our lights pop out, and they were shutting off, and then we all just started running, and we had customers coming and running in from the mall into our store.
Oh, my goodness.
How close are you to the food court area where we hear the shooting occurred?
We're about 5 stores down.
Okay.
Nicole, did you see any of the victims? Did you see anyone who had been shot?
I did not see any.
Okay, we talked to a lot of people in your situation who were working there who did run to the back and kind of lock themselves in a safe area. Is that what some of the folks were doing in your store?
We did. We had about 20 people in there.
Well, there you hear what we know at this point, some conflicting early reports, and obviously at this point, oftentimes there are conflicting early reports. One witness there talking to KOIN saying that she saw the alleged gunman wearing what appeared to be a white hockey mask running through the Macy's store prior to his opening fire once he got outside the Macy's store in this mall, describing him as wearing black clothing. Another published report in the Oregonian witness had said the gunman may have had some sort of body armor on and may have had camouflage clothing. Just moments ago, we heard from local authorities. Here's what Lieutenant James Rhodes had to say.
Do you have any idea what went on here, who this guy was?
I don't have any details about identification, motive, or anything of that nature.
We heard reports that he had an AR-15 rifle. Is that correct?
There are reports he had a firearm, and I mean, there's been a lot of reports, a lot of conflicting information. That's normal for this type of situation. So until I see it personally or get that verified, I can't confirm what the weapon was.
Is the shooter still alive?
The shooter's been neutralized, and I don't have the exact information on that, and I will give it to you as soon as I have.